Ever find yourself daydreaming about, launching your own business? The freedom, the creativity, it's exciting. But let's be real for a second. Some of the biggest decisions, they kind of pop up right at the starting line, and it can seriously, seriously impact your future. Today, we're diving deep into one of those make-or-break choices, LLC versus corporation. And to guide our deep dive, we've got insights from a recent article that was published August 31st, 2024, from Protect What You Build, or PWYB for short.
It's true. This decision, it's about laying the groundwork. Like, you wouldn't want to build a skyscraper on a foundation meant for a cozy cottage, right?
Exactly. You've probably heard the terms LLC and corporation thrown around, but we're going beyond the basics today. So for anyone just starting to explore this, what are we actually talking about here?
In a nutshell, an LLC, or limited liability company, it offers kind of like a blend of features from partnerships and corporations. Imagine a structure that shields your personal assets from business debts. That's that limited liability we hear about. But it also, it keeps taxes simple with something called pass-through taxation.
Okay, let's break down that pass-through taxation a bit further. It sounds a bit like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It's actually more straightforward than it sounds. Let's say your LLC earns $50,000 in profit. With pass-through taxation, that profit isn't taxed at the company level. Instead, it's reported on your personal income tax return. Makes things much easier, especially for smaller businesses.
Got it. So it's like the profit is passing through the business and landing directly on your tax return. Simple enough. Now, how does a corporation compare?
Corporations are a bit more, you could say, formal. They're considered separate legal entities, which has significant implications for liability and taxes.
Separate legal entities. What does that actually mean for, someone running the business?
It means the corporation is treated almost like an individual in the eyes of the law, like a person. It can own property, sign contracts, even get sued, all independently of you. It's a powerful concept that can offer some great advantages, but it also comes with more complex regulations.
So there's definitely a trade-off. But it sounds like both structures have their perks. Our article from PWYB highlights 5 key differences to help us navigate this whole thing. Formation, ownership, that ever-so-fun topic of taxation, raising capital, and transferability of ownership. Let's start with formation, shall we?
LLCs generally take the trophy for being easier to form, less paperwork, less hassle. If you're eager to get your business up and running quickly, that can be a major win.
I can imagine. But the article hints that corporations might offer, benefits down the line, especially for attracting investors or even going public. So like with most things in life, it boils down to those long-term goals.
Absolutely. Now let's talk ownership. LLCs are incredibly flexible. They can be owned by individuals, other LLCs, or even corporations.
So if you're envisioning a future with multiple owners or even different business entities involved, an LLC might be a good fit.
It could be, yeah. With corporations, ownership is divided into shares, which can be appealing to investors, but it might not offer the same level of personal touch or adaptability.
Speaking of finances, let's address the tax elephant in the room. I'm guessing this is where that separate legal entity thing gets really interesting. Or should I say complicated?
You did say that. We touched on pass-through taxation with LLCs, which can be a big plus. But there are also scenarios where an LLC might choose to be taxed as a corporation if it offers, tax advantages. Corporations, especially C corporations, come with this concept of double taxation.
Double taxation. Oh, no, not taxes twice. Tell me more about this, because that sounds a bit daunting for someone starting.
It's definitely something to consider. Let's say your C Corp earns $100,000 in profit. First, the corporation itself is taxed on that profit. Then, when those profits are distributed to shareholders as dividends, they're taxed again on their individual tax returns.
Ouch, right. It's like getting hit with a tax 1-2 punch. So while the corporate structure might have its advantages, those potential tax implications are definitely something to factor in.
For sure. And there are other types of corporations like S-Corp that offer a way around this double taxation. But that's a discussion for another deep dive.
Okay, noted. We'll add S-Corp to our list for future exploration.
Yeah.
So we've covered formation, ownership, and taxes. But what about attracting those crucial investors? I'm guessing this is where corporations take the lead.
You're right on the money with that one. When it comes to raising capital, corporations, particularly C Corp, they kind of have a certain allure for investors,
It's like that saying, dress to impress, but for businesses, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a startup founder, you got dreams of securing those big funding rounds, a corporation. That might be your power suit.
Exactly. Investors often feel more comfortable with the familiar structure of a C Corp. It offers this clear system for issuing stock and creating different classes of shares, which can be a big draw.
So it's not just about looking good, it's about having the right tools in your arsenal to attract those big players. Okay, that makes sense. Now, our fifth key difference, transferability of ownership. I'm guessing this comes into play when, like, founders think about exiting their business down the line.
Absolutely. With corporations, transferring ownership is usually pretty straightforward. You're essentially selling shares. LLCs, however, might have more restrictions in place, which could make transferring ownership a bit more complex.
Got it. So if you're someone who likes to keep their options open, a corporation might offer more flexibility down the road.
Potentially, yeah. But remember, it's all about finding the right fit for your unique circumstances. And that's where the decision making gets really interesting, you know?
Right. It's not just about ticking boxes on a legal form. It's about making choices that align with your vision, your risk tolerance, even your personality.
Exactly. PWYB emphasizes taking this, holistic approach,
Yeah.
and they highlight some key factors to consider. It's not just about the how, it's about the why behind your choice.
I love that. So let's dive into those factors. First up, we've got business goals. Are you picturing a future IPO, like ringing that bell on Wall Street, or maybe building a legacy business you can pass down, like a treasured family recipe?
Those goals are essential compass points. If you're aiming for venture capital or angel investors early on, a C Corp might be the more strategic path.
Huh.
It aligns with investor expectations and can streamline future funding rounds.
It's like speaking the same language as investors from day one, which can be a game changer in, the
Yeah.
fast-paced startup world. But let's say you're not chasing those big investments and you prioritize having more control over your business, keeping things agile and all that.
In that case, an LLC's simplicity and less stringent regulatory requirements might be the perfect fit. It's about finding the structure that empowers you, not one that feels restrictive or anything.
And of course, we can't forget about taxes. We've talked about double taxation with C Corp, which might not be ideal for everyone.
Exactly. This is where talking to a tax professional can be invaluable. They can help you crunch the numbers and determine the most advantageous structure for your specific situation.
It's like having a financial co-pilot to navigate those, complex tax landscapes. Now, beyond the numbers, PWIB also highlights the importance of considering your management style. Are you someone who thrives in a structured environment with, board meetings and formal processes? Or do you prefer a more agile, adaptable approach where you can make quick decisions and pivot as needed?
Those preferences matter. Feeling comfortable with the day-to-day management of your business, it's crucial. It impacts everything from decision-making to how you interact with your team.
It's like finding the right rhythm for your business, the tempo that keeps things moving smoothly.
And don't underestimate the influence of your industry. Certain industries have, established norms when it comes to business structures.
I like that old saying, when in Rome.
Exactly. Do your research and see what's common practice in your field. It might offer valuable insights and even impact how your business is perceived by potential partners or investors.
So it's about understanding the unspoken rules of the game, the expectations within your chosen industry. This is where having a guide like PWIB can be so valuable. They've got that insider knowledge and can help you navigate those nuances.
Absolutely. They even dig into your asset protection needs, which is crucial for any business owner. It's about creating a safety net for your personal assets, especially in, higher risk industries. They also help you explore tax optimization strategies, which can make a huge difference in your bottom line.
It's like having a financial advisor and a legal expert all rolled into one.
And beyond the technical expertise, what I appreciate about PWIB is their, genuine commitment to helping entrepreneurs succeed. They're not just handing you a map, they're walking alongside you, offering support and guidance every step of the way.
That's what sets them apart, that personalized approach. It's like having a trusted mentor in your corner, someone who's, been there, done that, and wants to see you thrive.
And they even offer a free consultation, which is a fantastic resource for anyone feeling a bit overwhelmed by this decision. It's a chance to get personalized advice and have your questions answered by, experts.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but as always, there's more to explore. We want to leave you with something to ponder, something that goes beyond the pages of this article. We've talked about, the legal and financial ins and outs, the importance of aligning your choice with your goals. But what about the bigger picture? What about the, legacy you're building with your business,
It's fascinating how this decision, which might seem purely technical at first glance, can have this, ripple effect.
A ripple effect. Tell me more about that.
It's about recognizing that your business exists within like a larger ecosystem. Your choice of structure, it can impact not just your company's future, but potentially your family's future, your community, even your industry.
Wow, when you put it that way, it really elevates the whole decision-making process. It's not just about paperwork and profits. It's about creating something meaningful, something with a lasting impact.
Precisely. It's about asking yourself, what kind of legacy am I building? What impact do I want to have? Those questions, they might feel kind of grand, but they can be incredibly clarifying.
It's like finding that sweet spot where your personal values intersect with your business aspirations. It's about building a business that reflects who you are and what you stand for. And hey, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by the intricacies of LLCs and corporations, remember that you don't have to navigate this alone.
Absolutely not. Protect what you built with their personalized approach and genuine passion for, helping entrepreneurs can be an invaluable guide on this journey.
They're like that wise friend who's always got your back, offering support, expertise, and maybe even a celebratory toast when you make that big decision.
Cheers to that.
On that note, it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive into the world of LLCs and corporations. We hope you found this exploration insightful and maybe even, a tad inspiring. Remember, the best decisions are often those made with both your head and your heart. So trust your gut, do your research, and don't hesitate to seek guidance from experts. Like protect what you built when you need it. Until next time, keep those entrepreneurial spirits burning bright.